Our music is the willingness to experiment and to say what we want to say and not really be held by the preconceived notions of what music should be or what specific genre should be. We kind of just ignore those guidelines and just go wherever we want to go. And I think that's what makes us different, is our ability to just say, screw it, we're going to do what we want.
Very nice, 100%. And music is very important. I feel like music, a lot of people don't think about this, but music is the number one thing that everyone around on this planet has a connection with.
It's true.
No matter if it's birthdays, bar mitzvahs, graduations, funerals, weddings, it's that music, rituals, religious beliefs. When it comes to it, music is the one thing, and I believe that if you have a voice, you should just pretty much say what you want to say. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to say it. And I can tell when you guys are up on that stage, you guys are like, listen to what I have to say because you're going to like it. Definitely.
I think the title album, Fool's Parade, it's the only real song that's really introverted and like introspective, and it's actually about that, about how it's about how I feel like a fool sometimes whenever I'm not ready to go on stage, or whenever I'm just like, not in the right mindset. When I get up on stage, I feel like, a puppet or a fool, the court jester, here to entertain you, haha, laugh at me, watch what I fall down, And that song is just an introspect, kind of laugh at myself kind of song, and I thought it fit really well as a title track of the title track of the album. Yeah, because it's the only one that's really super personal.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all personal. They all come from personal experience. I can't write unless I know about it, but that one's specifically about me.
What does it usually take to write a song?
Depends. Some things will start out as like a little idea that'll I'll kick around from like a month at a time before I grab what I actually want. And something like Bang Bang was like an hour. Like whole arrangement, whole song about an hour. Like even the lyrics and everything. It was like a thing for school. We were supposed to write a song that was in A form. And I don't know, we just forgot to do it, so we did it last minute right before, like 2 in the morning.
And it wasn't even to the song that we were planning on writing it to. He was just doing an exercise from one of his teachers, and that he had he said, try doing this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And Jeremy was messing with it on the floor, and I was like, what are you doing? What is that? And I write basically off of him. Our writing process goes, Jeremy comes up with something that's cool and groovy, and I kind of put words to how it makes me feel, what it makes me think about. And depending on where I've been that day, who knows what it makes me think about. What I saw.
And this might be hard for you guys. What, if you could choose, which on Fool's Parade would you consider your favorite song?
Yeah, that is different.
I know. Okay, two songs.
Okay, that's better. I really like Shelter, I'm actually really proud of that song. I don't know, yeah, there's something about it I really, really love about it. And I'd say Night Stalker, but that's such an obvious choice for guitar, so I'd say Red Light, probably, because it's so wacky and different.
I would say my two favorites are Fool's Parade, mostly because it's extremely personal for me. And also I love 3/4 time songs. Like I'm such a sucker if I hear a waltz, I'm like, let's go dance. I don't know, let's go do something. I need a ball gown, let's go. But also I would say my second favorite would be Absent. And it's also comes from a very personal place. And it's like so adventurous, and it's the most unique song on the album. There's no percussion in it at all. Any kind of percussive sounds come from striking the strings or something that's actually not really happening. It's kind of the percussive effects that you hear are illusion. And it's like basically an entire string symphony. Like we've got...
It's my baby, actually.
Yeah.
That was like my brain.
It's got guitar, it's got sitar in it, it's got strings, it's got cello and mandolin and violin and all kinds of... It's just a feast of string instruments. And I think it's the most unique thing that we've done, recorded to date.
I remember you guys were practicing Shelter out in Tahunga, before, you know, it came, you guys were just trying it out, and I was
Yeah.
like, I like this song. All right, I can't wait to hear it, you know, on the CD, and then bam, Fool's Parade.
Yeah, we actually have a pretty quick. We're pretty quick at albums. We wrote and recorded Fool's Parade in less than 6 months.
Yeah. It was like I think we would shop for 3 and recorded it in 3.
Yeah. The recording process actually took 3 months. Recording to mastering to having a finished product,
Yeah.
and about 3 months.
I know. And I don't know if you guys mentioned it before, like, when you guys, did you play, other than singing, did you play any other instrument, or were you just more like, I like singing, and I'm just gonna...
I can play guitar. I can play guitar well enough to have someone take it away from me and then play it right. But mostly, I learned to play guitar because I didn't have a guitarist, and I didn't have a band whenever I was writing when I was younger. And so I picked up guitar as a weapon, another tool for me to write. And mostly, I consider myself a writer before a singer because I love writing. That's my true love. I love singing, but if there's one thing I love more than singing music is writing. And I think Jeremy and I, we share that bond. That's why we're pretty quick at pumping out albums, because once we sit down and start actually really working on an album, it's just
You guys set your mind to something?
I'm pretty stubborn.
Let's see. I play a lot of instruments. I used to play flute. That's actually the first instrument I started on. But nowadays, like I said, because of the world music thing, I play sitar, mandolin, guitar, dulcimers, harps. If it's got strings, I pretty much play it. I just love string instruments, especially it's from another country. Then I'll definitely play it. Like I've got a Russian balalaika. It's like this lute about that big. It's just a triangle body. It's really weird. It's really cool, but it's really, really odd looking.
Yeah, a friend of ours actually had the sitar that we have at our house that he wanted to learn how to play it. Jeremy didn't know how to play it. He looked it up online and studied it for a good while before he actually got his hands on the sitar for the first time. Sat down and within 3 hours was playing it very well, and it was like that. It's disgusting. It's like I struggle with every instrument I pick up because I think as a vocalist it's kind of a crutch. I don't have to really think. I've been singing my whole life. I got on stage the first time whenever I was like 4 years old and singing. So it's something I don't have to think about. And when I have to think to make music, it's so frustrating. And then to see him like not have to think about something he's never touched before, just pick it up and go, oh, and like not worry about anything. It's like, oh, shit, you're a little shit, But hey, And Adam is he can play pretty much any of the strings as well, and super talented. He doesn't know what to do with the sitar. He picked it up. It was really funny because Adam is ridiculous guitar. As you know, you've heard him play. Jeremy has been playing the sitar, and Adam picks it up and he goes, kind of plucked it a bit, and he said, "This makes no sense to me." And just handed it back to Jeremy. But and Adam, I should give a little bit of information about him. He's been playing since he was very, very small. He says that he got serious about it when he was around 10, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, he's one of those people where you're like, dude, how long have you been playing? And he's like, I don't ever remember not having a guitar in my hands. I'm like,
he went on tour at the age of 13. Like, so he's what you would call, as well as Jeremy, they're both what you would call
Prodigies. Oh, that's a big word.
Yeah. So I'm extremely lucky and blessed to not have to play guitar. My terrible guitar playing would scare off cats. So.
Well, yeah, don't let me play guitar either. Because I tried. I don't have the patience for it. I like seeing people play. Because the expression is crazy. If you're playing the guitar or sitar, but when you're singing, that expression in your face is priceless. And plus, I'm always the one dancing, so I think it would be very hard for me to try to be up on stage and,
I find it very boring when a band stands on stage and has no emotion on their face, and they play their guitars and they maybe move about like this much, and then they get off stage. That's I want to see people tear their hearts out on stage and, you know, say this is what I look like on the inside. You know, I want to feel that. And if I'm not feeling it, I'm like, if you can't get into your music, how am I supposed to get into your music?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. So far, since you guys played places, what would you say your favorite place has been?
Now I miss the Galaxy days.
Yeah.
Because they were mostly free shows. There wasn't even really a bar. The bands would bring in whatever beer that they could afford to bring in and sell it for extra money, and that's how the bands would make money at playing those shows.
This was towards the end of it.
Yeah, towards the end. I mean, at one point they were running it off of pirated electricity from a store down the way. Like they literally ran extension cables and plugged everything, the lights, the amps, the PA, everything into like one extension cord stolen from a neighbor.
Oh yeah.
And I love the spirit of those
Where do you
days.
guys see yourselves in 5 years? Like, a lot of musicians sometimes when they start getting big, their egos start getting bigger and they tend to forget what's really important. Like, they do have their fans, you know, and they're really happy, but they kind of forget of who they were before, and they're in this whole stage of, I'm a rock star, I'm gonna make millions, I'm gonna be famous. And some people, like my friend Noah, is more of like, I just want to be able to tour and play. What side, like, which path are you guys on?
I most definitely we want to be able to be touring and playing for 5 years. Most likely, more than anything, just making music, just writing new albums and stuff. That's what I'd love to be able to do, is just to have the funding to just be like, all right, we're gonna go on tour for like 4 months, and then we're gonna cut a record.
Yeah,
It's creating is like the biggest thing for me, is making the new music.
Ideally, I think that would be like, you know, tour album. If we could spend half of our time in the studio recording and half of our time on the road, that would be my idea of heaven. It's not about getting rich for me. It's about being able to do what I love for the rest of my life. And that's really what it is. And to, hopefully, the goal is to create music like the Beatles did, that can change a 3-year-old's whole mindset on how music is supposed to be and what it's supposed to sound like. I would like to touch people in